Welcome to Tea Time with Sports Adda. This is Paris here, your host. Rushabh, a very good evening. As of what we've seen, some real demonic figures out there for Team India, and a very small target set by them. Can you please walk us through as to what has happened?
uh, I think I could we could see the mood, even the energy, the way you were sounding, even you could feel that it's going away and away from India. But I think it's been disciplined bowling by New Zealand. We spoke about the fact that the wicket is not gonna support them that much, but they knew that and they used their skill to their benefit. Somebody like a Kyle Jamieson or Trent Bolt, they just used whatever experience they had, whatever skill set they have, they used it to that
Hmm.
advantage. They didn't really depend completely on the wicket, and that's why you could see the way India was tumbling. And I think apart from Kohli and Pujara's wicket, rest all the wickets which India lost, it has been thrown away by the batsmen. You look at maybe a Pant's wicket or an Ashwin's wicket, you speak for that. It has been thrown away by the batsmen. So, that makes a bowler's job that much easier. So, like you said, disappointing. Uh, I mean, you would have expected India to maybe apply themselves in a much better way. But nonetheless, we have still 45 overs to go, over 120 runs required. I think India would just need to produce something magical if they want to save this test match.
Yeah, that's what every Indian's thinking. Either that or either the rains come back. When we talk about a tall bowler, pushing his limits, and getting the additional bounce, something that came to my mind while looking at Jamieson Bowl was 2007 under the captaincy of Rahul Dravid. There was a certain bowler called Chris Tremlett who pretty much had the same height and the speed of what a Jameson has. And at that time, all those stocks were put to rest by the solid technique of, the Fab Four, if we could recall them, and they applied themselves terrifically. When you talk about leaving a tall bowler, there's always talks of, your hands being down, right? Rather than, pushing your hands up, there's a different sort of a leave. When we talk about a Jameson, that does not seem any game plan like a Pujara the way he got out. A Dravid would rarely get out like this, given the situation and what's expected of him.
Rightly said that. There was a bit of confusion. I have spoken through this over the 5 days that in this sort of a wicket you can't play in two minds. You can't be
Yeah.
confused whether I should go for it or no. You have to be clear. If you have to go for it, just go for it. If you have to leave it, just leave it. You just can't. You don't have time to adjust. Okay, you go for it, then leave it. No, it's not that sort of a wicket. And that is something we saw when Pujara was batting. The way he got out, he was just trying to push at the ball, and last minute he thought of leaving the ball. That's where he got in two minds, and he didn't have time to maybe take his hands up or down, like you said, and it just took the edge. So it's all again comes out to how much into the zone you are, how much concentration you have at that point of time, and there's no room for confusion. If that's the word I can use, there's no room for confusion, and that's exactly what Pujara got. He was not sure whether to leave, whether to play, caught up in two minds, and Jamieson struck there.
Right, nicely put there. Now, also when we talk about a Virat Kohli's wicket being so big, and the falls in his technique is again come back. This is the basic shot that he uses in the one-day level, to steal up a single down third man or just behind point. A nothing shot at the end gets an outside edge, and Kohli's gone.
uh, I think that was a well thought out plan. If you would have seen the deliveries before that, there were three deliveries which were going away, going away, going away, and the one which suddenly came in with the angle. So that's what I said when I said that New Zealand bowlers used their skill sets at a very good level and a very professional level to get the wickets. Even though the wicket
Yeah.
was not supporting them, they knew exactly what they had to do, and that is a well thought out plan against Kohli. Because when you try to push him out, that one ball he's definitely going to fend away, and that's exactly what happened. You bowl him three into the just going away, he's happy to leave. You bowl one close to
Yeah.
him, he's tempted to go for the shot, and that's what took the edge. That's about it. I think really good application of tactics against Kohli.
No, Virat Kohli's wicket's always big, and we're talking about the lower order batsmen, for India. Rishabh Pant, tried his best. The way he went after the attack was typical Pant, but it's yet again we are talking about the mode of dismissal, the way he got out. it really does raise eyebrows, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, the entire Punch innings, if I have to sum up in one word, it will be lucky, because there were a lot of play and misses. There were a lot of, I mean, more than hardly he left any ball. It was all that he was just coming down the track, trying to swing. He was lucky enough that it didn't catch his edge and the ball was going back. So that's the entire summary of his innings. Yes, he did get a few
Yeah,
runs, even though a couple of boundaries came with an edge over the slip cordon, one with an edge on the leg side on a pull shot. So
yeah,
he didn't look the convincing punt which you would like to see. And again, the mode of dismissal is always the talk when it's about punt, and that's why if there are any questions raised about his position or his role in the team, it's only because of the way he gets out. Because 99% of the time he throws away his wicket, and at a very
yeah,
crucial situation. Because you see, till the time Pant was there, India was confident. But once Pant got out, it was like a trail. After Punch, wicket just started tumbling. So again, that shot was
yeah,
not required. You just got runs. You're batting out there. You're in the 40s. You have done the hard work. Just stay there. Ensure you're playing out time, and then maybe if you have. So if I would have had someone like a Shami or a Ishant Sharma at other end, I would have supported the decision which Pant took. But you have someone like a Jadeja who's a capable enough batsman. You have Ashwin to follow.
yeah.
A madness. I mean, nothing short, not required. Absolutely throwing away his wicket. Absolutely useless at that point.
Right, Jadeja did get out before Pant hit that shot. We've been watching this match so closely. He henceforth, and Ashwin was just a batsman who just walked in then, but he also followed Pant 2 balls later. The mode of dismissal pretty much the same. A ball outside off them, trying to hit the cover drive, caught second slip. So when we talk about New Zealanders bowling, we had a lot of talk about Jamieson and a Bolt, but then Tim Southee is back to his best. He's picked up 4 wickets. He's done very well, and the typical ball that is bowled right off the crease, angled in and swings outwards. He's back, isn't he?
It was. I mean, we spoke on the first day, as in how he looked out of sorts. He was not looking the regular
Yeah,
Tim Southee, but he came into his own today, and that's what champions are made of. They what you can say. They strike at the right time. They come into their fore when it matters the most, when the team requires them to perform, and that's exactly what Tim Southee did. I mean, yes, he got the wickets of tail-enders, but we could see how those crucial 10, 12 runs which have been added by Shami and Nishant sort of gave us a confidence that
yeah.
India at least got to the 130 mark. So, getting the tail out is also an art, which I think he's pretty well in that. And I think that's the vintage Tim Southee which came to the fore today, and when it mattered the most for New Zealand.
Yeah, rightly put there. When you talk about India's tail, it did wag, a little bit, but again, a Bumrah gets a duck. A Shami scored an 8-9 odd, and then the others just followed. Now coming to the New Zealanders batting unit, the way the openers have started looks very positive. They've been able to score a couple of boundaries, and they're trying to play straight. Although Kohli is again chirping continuously from the slip cordon as to an LBWs right away, 2 before tea. So they're good. There's a lot of chirping happening. So what do you think should be the game plan for New Zealanders batting? To chase this score down.
Plan is just simple. Just hang around there. Just stick around there, because you have 45 overs. You have just about 120 to get. There's a lot of time on this game. And looking at the clouds, there are no picture or no signs of rain coming in. So you definitely can
Yeah,
expect that you get all the 45 overs in. So don't just
yeah,
panic, because if New Zealand don't lose a wicket for another 10 overs after tea, you would see the shoulders started drooping, and that will
yeah.
happen. That's natural, something which will happen. So it's just about staying there. If they play out those 10 overs without losing a wicket, after that it would be quite easy for them to get to the target. So I think that should be the game plan by New Zealand.
Right, and also talking about the spinners for India, do you think Kohli is going to bring them on early, or is he going to wait for the seamers to first pick a few?
He should. He should. I mean, that's the last hope which I can see. If India have to make a comeback, it has to be the spinners who will have to bail them out of this situation, because the wicket looks good for them. There are a bit of footmarks like we have been speaking about. It's a day 6 wicket, dry wicket. There would be something, and somebody like an Ashwin will relish the fact that there are 2 left-handers. He's got Tom Latham thrice in the last 5 innings. Devon
Yeah,
Convoy has not played him that much, or hardly played him in the first innings. So definitely he's one thing which will be there in their mind. So just bring in Ashwin as early as possible. I mean, new ball, old ball. Now there's no time to think about it. Just get Ashwin. Just tell him to bowl in the right areas. He got us the breakthrough even in the first innings, and we can expect that he will do the same for us this time. And it's not just about one wicket now. We need a series of wickets from him. So now
Yeah,
just go back to the traditional Indian methods. Maybe just get both spinners from both the ends, one left arm, one right arm. Just try to strangle them and
hmm,
build pressure on them. Get fielders around. Chopping is something which has been constantly going on, like you pointed out. Because what happened is the pacers are getting them to play and miss, but that's not gonna work for us. Now we need wickets if we have to win. So
yeah,
just try
yeah, yeah.
everything you have at hand, and the most two diamonds which are available with you are Jadeja and Ashwin. So just use them. If it works, it's good. If no, then there's no other way. But just go for the kill right now.
Right. Talking about going for the kill with. Oh, we've got the scorecard here. Latham and Conway both not out on 5 and 9 respectively. The current line of bowling attack that India has is Ishan Sharma and Mohammad Shami had started, and the first change bowler is Bumrah. That's a change that we've just seen, as Shami is considered to be a better bowler with the older ball, but given the control that he has, a lot is expected off of him. Now, barring the scorecard, I would just want to ask here, Rushabh, is that we've seen a Kane Williamson padded up, and he's sitting outside. If at all a wicket falls, he's the man that we are hoping to see come one down. But do you think he's going to change the strategy if this partnership stretches upwards of 50 runs? The Grand Home or someone can come in to take the bowling on.
I don't think so. He's that sort of a captain, because see, it all comes down to the number of overs left. Maybe if it comes down to a situation which India were in the Gabba test, wherein you require when the required run rate is about 5.5. That's when you can expect somebody like a Colin de Grandhomme or Henry Nichols being promoted. But if
Yeah,
if at all a wicket falls and they have a lot of overs in hand, I think Kane Williamson will take the onus on himself. And he's been that sort of
yeah,
a captain. He's their man in form. I mean, in the last uh, 5 test matches he's played, he's got 2 double hundreds, 100s, over 600 runs in the last 5 test matches. Terrific form. I think
yeah,
he's the top scorer, second highest scorer for them in the first
yeah.
innings. Then he will definitely take the mantle on himself to go out there and win it for his country.
Rightly put there. Williamson is a sort of a captain who would like to lead from the front. And now we've discussed upon the tactics from what's in store for from New Zealand and India respectively. We've covered the spinners, and there's one aspect that we haven't touched upon is the pitch. There seems to be inconsistent bounce on this track now. A couple of balls have kept really really low. When the ball's pitched onto the foot marks. Do you think when we talk about playing a spinner in English conditions, a lot of ask is with regards to stepping out, right? You get to the pitch because of minimal spin, you can hit against the spin as well. So do you think that's an advantage for India as of now?
Yes, you can say so. And whatever inconsistent bounce we have seen was seen when the ball was pitched up. So if you see, even in the
Yeah.
third innings when India was batting, Kyle Jamieson was
Hmm.
getting. I mean, Kyle Jamieson's balls were going at the bounce of the keeper because he was trying to pitch
Yeah.
it up there. Whereas somebody like a Bolt or Saudi was bowling in the good length area, the ball was having good carry. Even when Indians
Yeah.
came to bowl, when Ishant Sharma and Shami bowled, hardly there were any balls which went down on the
Yeah.
keeper, because they were bowling
Yeah.
back of a length, trying to just take an edge, but which was unfortunately play and miss. But you could clearly see that if you pitch behind, if you pitch not full length, but in the good length or back of a length area, you are getting good purchase
Yeah.
of the wicket. And talking about footmarks, I think maybe after the break now, we should see maybe a couple of overs from the pacers, and their focus
Yeah.
not should be on bowling tight lines, but on creating the footmarks. That's another angle to look at it. Just tell them to come as close to the stumps as possible, not step on the danger
Yeah.
area, but be as close. Just put some spike marks there. Just make something different for the spinners to do something. And after that, then Ashwin and Jadeja will take care of it. So that's also another way to look at it. But I think that's something which India can try. Maybe now we are in a situation where anything is it's good for us. So just try all the cards you have at hand and just see which works.
Right. So Rishabh, one last thing before we go. You are still backing India to win this.
Chances look very bleak. Maybe now I can say 70-30 in the favor of New Zealand. But yeah, I mean, this game is unpredictable. I mean, anything and everything can happen. We have seen something like a 36-9 against India. Now we are just hoping that they turn the tide. They just reverse it now on New Zealand. So still hopeful, fingers crossed. But yeah, I mean, New Zealand definitely are way ahead than India in terms of winning this.
You're right there, Rushabh. Once again, thanks a lot for your inputs. It's been a pleasure having you throughout this test match, and hope to see you and catch up on all the expertise that you possess in the future matches. This is Paras here signing off for this particular test match. Let's see what happens. Thanks a lot, Rushabh. Cheers.
Thanks, Paras. Thanks, everybody. It was a pleasure.